have so many people ask me, how do I talk to my higher self? I'm going to explain that today in a way that's very tangible and easy. It'll assist you in quantum leaping in your reality, make manifesting a whole lot easier. When you can connect with your higher self very clearly, they can give you instructions on the next steps that are very clear and directive. A couple years ago, my name was Brittany. It is Sage now. Brittany was an embodiment of who I was in that time and space, even though I didn't really resonate with that name ever, but just the energetics that were with that name were more so me. I said, I need an alter ego. I need to get very clear on who my higher self is in the future so that I can embody her energetics and shift into her. I said, I think I want to call myself Sage. That is a little bit more gender non-conforming. And she is very confident. She understands herself on very deep levels, has good self-concept, just a whole different set of emotions and thoughts, taking different action steps, very motivated, very determined, is talking about her business and her abilities and her gifts. She looked completely different than I did during that time. And what I would do is go into meditation and switch into future me and talk back to myself in the present. Whenever I was experiencing a lot of fear or anxiety or indecisiveness, chaos, I would talk to myself, hey, Brittany, while I was Sage, in the future, tell me what's going on. Why are we feeling the way that we are? Okay, because I am now looking at what's going on in our life in a more objective manner than an emotionally attached manner. I am able to give Sage advice to her. And when I would snap back into who I am currently, I felt like I had a huge breath of air because now I had clear instructions. Oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z, or I need to process these emotions, or this is some trauma that I need to look at, or these are some action steps that I can take in my life, or things that I need to focus on. It is stepping outside of yourself, almost like you would be asking advice from a friend that can see things that you cannot currently. And then one day I actually became Sage. I started dressing completely differently, carrying myself in a different manner, showing up in my family dynamics and in my business and in my friendships is a completely different version of myself. It was Sage who I was working towards that whole time, but I had to be very clear on who it was that I was trying to shift into. And sometimes when we're thinking about higher self, it's like this vague energy up here, and we have so many different higher selves. There's a higher self of you a year from now, in 5 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, just like there's multitudes of inner children within you. It works on a scale. You're not going to be doing the same things a year from now that you're doing 30 years from now. So let's pick a point of reference that is closer to you and is more achievable and tangible, because when we are trying to create these vastly different states of being, and we don't reach those in the time period that we think that we should, it gets very overwhelming and overstimulating, and then we start berating ourselves and shame and guilt, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll never become them, and it's not working. That's because you trying to become higher self you 15 years from now. Let's do it baby step at a time. Who are you a year from now? What kind of action steps are they taking? What kind of thoughts? What kind of emotions? How are they dressing aesthetically? Maybe it looks very different from you right now, or maybe slightly different. Are they going on travels? Are they stepping outside of their comfort zone? Are they holding good boundaries? All of the personality traits and the attributes, what does that look like specifically? Because when you go to sit into meditation to become them temporarily, it's much easier to do that. And you are able to sit there and really feel what it is like to be that person permanently. And the more that you go in meditation to do that and talk back to yourself in the present to give advice, you slowly actually start to become them. Even if it's 1% every single day, this is how you can quantum leap your reality so much more quickly. What this also does is shifts the way that you're showing up in your life on a day-to-day basis, because now we have a reference point, a backboard of what would this version of myself do instead? Because if you keep on doing the same things over and over again, then you get the same results. So we need some type of contrast so we can make different decisions. Now that I am the version of myself that is this Sage, the other day I had a download come in of, oh, this is going to be my next highest self, and she has a completely different energetic system than I do currently, and that's the process that I have been doing every single day of what would she be doing? How would she be acting and carrying herself? What kind of decisions is she making, and thoughts and emotions? And it has really amplified the experiences and outcomes that I have been having, and my manifestations and my business is radiating out into multitudes of areas in a very positive way. Another key piece is asking your higher self specific questions. Oftentimes we're going in meditation or just throughout the day waiting for something to happen. The whole point of spirit guides and higher self, your ethereal team members, is to guide you through your life. But you have to give them a little bit of parameters. What are we trying to focus on? What do we need support with? How, what, and why questions work beautifully. When you are going into meditation and snapping into the future version of yourself a year from now, you're going to need to ask the current version of you questions to prompt and guide them. I tell this to anyone who wants to be a channeler or energy healer, a practitioner, or simply for self-healing. Make it a fundamental part of your life to get really good at asking discovery questions. You can go on ChatGPT, you can go on Google, you can find journal prompts about the different areas of your life that you're needing support with or advice. It's so beneficial. It takes you to an elevated state of self-awareness and really helps expand your consciousness. So I would love to hear in the comments what your biggest takeaway was from this message, and if you have any questions, and I hope you have a super magical day.